forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Kamui Kobayashi completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Russell, Leclerc, Perez, Fernando Alonso, the captain, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Ocon, Magnussen, Joe, Sainz, Gasly, Ricciardo, Albon, Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
Welcome to Driving Immersion for the immersive racing experience. We drive full-length races in full simulation, the way F124 is meant to be played, from the driver's cockpit with a Fanatec force feedback wheel and pedal set. If you enjoy the racing here at Driving Immersion, give us a like and subscribe, and let us know how you enjoyed the race. It will help us reach other race fans like you. In addition, you'll be notified when the next race is available. Our content is on Facebook in HD and on YouTube in Ultra HD. We have here the sprint race at the A1 Ring in Austria, one of the shortest laps on the calendar with only 10 turns, but with 3 DRS zones. It promises to be a fast race. The start is overcast, but with no rain in the forecast. The Driving Immersion team made it to Q3 with Kamui being edged out of P1, and the number 66 of Mars Medina is in 9th. You'll want to stick around for the finish of this sprint race.
So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Having a look around, certainly overcast, but unlike Spain, in the last race there are no raindrops falling onto our screen. And again, we don't have any rain in the forecast. Very easy strategy here. It's going to be a single stop, and we're going to put on a set of mediums to last throughout this very short 24 laps race. And our setup again is customized by the wings, but it is based off of the increased top speed preset. And we didn't change the tire pressures to accommodate for tire temperature since it is overcast, and again it's a short race. So here we go on to our formation lap down the main straight, crossing the start-finish line, coming into turn 1, and this is where a lot of passing is going to go on.
Good, but we need to learn the gears, so go into each one when you can. We're going to need some work on the brakes, so put some energy into them and warm the tyres as well, please.
So riding the apron on the left as we exit turn 1 into our first DRS zone, and coming around here again, a slight left to turn 2, very slow into turn 3 here as we do a 90-degree right, and we accelerate very hard going uphill into our second DRS zone. Slightly downhill now onto turn 4 to the right. Again, a very slow right-hander as it falls away, and we accelerate out through turn 5 here to the right. Turn 6, a very wide left-hander, and we're going to be riding the apron here on the exit to the right. Turn 7, another left-hander, and that is going to spit us out onto the apron of turn 8 to the right. Turn 9, still going downhill. Again, another very wide apron to the left, and we're going to be using every bit of it through turn 10 here to the right, entering our third DRS zone, coming in through the start-finish line.
parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out.
5 lights out, and it's a go.
A little bit of bump there, but no damage indicated.
Certainly did see a nudge with the Aston Martin of Alonso. And coming here to turn 3, again nudging with the Ferrari.
That was Perez, not Max.
So coming into turn 4, we are now P6 out of P9. And that is Lando Norris and the McLaren just ahead of us with Russell in the Mercedes. And here we are looking back at the 66 Driving Immersion. Sweeping to the right, taking advantage of the apron. Right under the wing of George Russell in the Mercedes. And you saw there that Kamui got the fast lap for the first lap of the race. On board with Lando Norris, and that is George Russell. To his right, the number 66 coming in through here, turn 4. George Russell sneaks in and gets the inside, at least for now. Back to the 66, we're going to dive right underneath the Mercedes. And that will be Lewis Hamilton. That is Max Verstappen in the Red Bull just ahead of us. And with the DRS, we're going to be able to get around him into turn 1. So right now, after only 3 laps, we are up to second place. So it's a Driving Immersion 1-2 with Kamui just ahead. And right now he is 2.4 seconds ahead of the number 66. So if you're watching the race from the cockpit like this, you will see that we are making use of every inch of the apron. And the race here at the A1 ring, you'll certainly do that. For most of the race, you are basically throwing the car around. But it has a higher willingness to stick than in previous versions of F1. So you're able to do that. Very wide on the apron. A few more of those and we'll have a track limits penalty.
Way off track there.
So there we are. We now hold the fastest lap on at the end of lap 3. Still catching up to our teammate. He has been very fast in the last few races. Again, we did continue to develop his talent and his technique. Very wide turn 6 here to the left.
Starting to lose my front tires.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Trading fast laps
So
again
trading
with the
laps
leader,
again?
as we did in Spain.
Kamui is very fast.
Over the crest as we approach turn 4. Again, slowly to the right. And we fight for traction as we accelerate very hard out. So the distance between the 66 and Kamui in the lead is definitely shrinking as we are trying to use every bit of the track. The runoff areas here at the A1 ring are paved, so they're used by a lot of the drivers. Very tricky there into turn 3. You basically have to turn the steering wheel very fast and flick it to the right, but only at the proper moment, as you will certainly understeer if you turn at the wrong time, and certainly won't make the turn if you turn too slow. A very strange thing to do indeed, as your everyday car, you won't be flinging to the right or to the left. Instead, you'll be making gradual turns. Again, downhill through number 9, and continuing downhill into number 10. Going through our first DRS zone, you can see there that we were not in range of Kamui and we were not able to activate it. I believe we were 1.1 seconds behind at that point. Certainly didn't look like it coming in through turn 3. Here we are going to turn 4. We still don't have... No, I believe we are riding with Kamui. And we did have DRS then for the number 66. And this is just a good indication or a good view of how fast Kamui is going here at Austria. Again, this is a sprint race and we have more than enough fuel on board, and the tires that we have on any of the cars are going to be able to last throughout the 24 laps here. Which is exactly the purpose of the sprint race, and that's to go for all of it.
Keep this up. Well done.
Another fast lap for the 66. We are now just under the wing of Kamui. We've got our DRS activated here. Looking back at the 66 in the draft of Kamui. He closes off the inside to the turn here, and we're not able to make any moves. Our only goal at this point is to keep traction and stay within his range. Coming in through 6 and 7, and by the time we approach turn 10, hopefully we will be just under his wing, and hopefully there'll be a chance to pass him down the main straight. Here we are, just under his wing, very, very close here, coming in turn 10. We will have DRS, we will have DRS as well, but we'll have to see how fast he is. He does take the inside coming into turn 1. And we're going to be able to squeeze them out just by the smallest margins. Coming down to DRS, we will have that available to us as well.
That was a tough battle with our teammates.
So we're able to put a little space in between us.
Or break any parts.
On board with Kamui, that is the 66 now in the lead.
Yeah, no thoughts next. It's going to be tough. Falling
away is turn 3 or turn 4. very far off again into the apron of the 66. We do have the track limits on standard here, so I believe there are going to be a few times when it just lets it go without a penalty or a warning, but certainly they must be adding up by now for the number 66. Again, very slow at turn 3. Down the hill, you can see just a little bit of Kamui in the rear view mirror. There he is. Coming around again to finish turn 10. Don't forget again to like and subscribe. It really helps out our channel. Coming into turn 1, we're going to flick it to the right. Very conservative that time around, as we are now in the lead. We are seeking to obviously preserve the car and keep the others behind us. And that one behind us is our teammate Kamui.
Very wide. The wing.
Very wide coming into turn 6. Certainly wasted a little bit of time there. And again, the apron on turn 8. Certainly a little bit better with the track limits.
He does have DRS available to him.
Yes, looking at the timing on the upper left of the screen, you can see that Kamui is less than a second behind us. So as we are circling around the track, he is able to use his DRS in order to make up any distance that he may have been losing throughout any part of the lap. And you can see here that he is just under our wing coming out of turn 3. And a little bit of traction for the 66, again, as we accelerate very hard out, up and over the crest to turn 4, and we're going to start going downhill at this point. So there's the timing there on your screen. First 3 cars very close together. And then Lewis Hamilton is 7 seconds behind, along with his teammate right behind. Still racing very close. You can see here that Kamui got his DRS going, and he's able to sweep around us coming into turn 3. Side by side, going up over the crest, and we're going to be able to accelerate a little bit harder than he is, or he did, as we had the wider circle. Kamui getting a little squirrely there, coming into turn 4. On board with Max Verstappen, watching the race between the 2 Driving Immersion teammates. This is turn 7, turn 8. And from the nose cam you can see the elevation change here. That is not so clearly visible from the T-cam or even from the cockpit. But we will be going uphill into turn 1 as we start to cross the start-finish line. Again, you can see here that we do go uphill. It continues uphill. It does crest, however, before we get into the DRS zone. Downhill now. And this is going to be turn 2 again to the left. Very slight turn. A little bit uphill into turn 3. We are going to be climbing up on a very sharp turn, entering our second DRS zone here, and that is Kamui. He must have been sleeping on a job or perhaps lost traction coming out of 3, and you can see that Max just got around him and side by side into turn 4. Kamui being squeezed out. So Max Verstappen up 1 into turn 6. This is turn 7 from the air. Turn 8 to the right. And now we are racing with Max Verstappen. We did choose him as our rival at this part of the season. Throughout the season, you'll have rivals to race against, and right now he is our rival.
Around Kobayashi.
And I believe that may be the reason why he's racing very hard against the 66 here. As did Lando Norris when in the beginning of the season he was our chosen rival. So a little bit of status quo coming out of 3. So after 15 laps, the Driving Immersion number 66 again is in the lead, followed by Max Verstappen in the Red Bull and Kamui Kobayashi in the second Driving Immersion. Certainly a little bit better this time around.
Low 1 net lap.
On the apron as we exit turn 10. Having to use our DRS, you can see here that Max Verstappen would have his DRS available, and that's exactly why we used our ERS down the straight. It looks like Max is taking a look at the inside. Nothing happening this time around. Coming in through 8 here, you can see the stripes painted on the tarmac for the exit into the pits. But no pitting this time around, as this is the sprint race. And that is turn 2, very slight left-hander. Turn 3, very slow and uphill. And again, you can see there that we're having to use our ERS as the cars behind us have her DRS open. And we had to accommodate for the extra speed that they will have. There we are, down the start-finish line. Uphill into turn 1. Max Verstappen has a very good look with his DRS. He's on the inside of turn 3. Don't know if there was a collision there. Looks like both cars still have their wings intact. But Kamui's on the run here, and he is going to be able to get inside of Max Verstappen. Turn 5. 6. And 7, and Kamui's going to be able to make it stick. So again, as we circle the track, you can see here that a lot of the turns are very much sweeping turns, except for turn 3 and turn 4. And that is what makes this race very fast and makes this track very fast. Kamui very close into turn 3, has a good look. But again, the 66 closes the door. Turn 6 here, and again we're going to be riding the curb on the outside. Turn 7, just a flick to the left and to the right into turn 8. Dive downhill and sweep through turn 9 and turn 10. And you can see there the sign for the DRS zone, so most of the main straight here is open to the DRS zone, and that's why there's usually a lot of passing on the turn 1. Very fast lap now for lap 20 of the race. You can see our timing is ahead. Well, it was ahead.
Major understeer.
Still a very close race here with the 66. Our teammates Kamui and the Red Bull driver Max Verstappen still very close, making it a race certainly. But these first 3 are podium spots, and the top podium is going to be very important for all 3 of us. And a little bit of smoke coming from that is the number 66. This is going to be definitely an expiration. And right now, no warning whatsoever. There is a red engine light showing up on the lower right hand of the screen. Car is absolutely stopped. End of the race for the 66. And you can see there, parked on the side, smoke coming from the back of the vehicle. So that is the end, and it looks like a mechanical failure. Don't know exactly what it is yet from the 66. But when this happens, the whole race stops. And then the finish, or the finishing laps, are going to be simulated into the timing. Of course, you can see Mars Medina walking off into
So with the
pits.
sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying. And of course, the
Kamui Kobayashi wins the race. Max Verstappen in second, Lando Norris in third.
We'll see you next time.
With a big failure from the number 66, our first of the season so far. Here's a replay. And we are riding with Max Verstappen coming into turn 1. That is Kamui just ahead of him. The number 66 up in front, coming into turn 2, and you can see the smoke starting here, and it continues on. This is only a terminal problem for the 66. Can't be any less than that. You can see that he just pulled over to the side as Max and Kamui just passed by. On board with Kamui and the other driving immersion right behind his 66. Coming into turn 2 again, this is a replay of the expiration of the number 66. A lot of smoke coming from the car coming into turn 1. Still a lot of smoke, and you can see here that there's nothing to do but pull over as the car just won't go anymore. In the distance is the end of the 66 for the Austrian Grand Prix. So again, the race ends early for the number 66. And again, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know what you think of the race. We'll see you next time.